Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to Tony TV, and it's time for the takeover. You already know what it is. Challenge Wednesday, episode 15 in season 37. We had a good one tonight, y'all, so I'm just going to get straight into it and get to the point. So remember last week it was a girls' elimination. It was Amanda versus Big T, and Amanda sent Big T home. But since Ashley had got DQ'd already from the season, they let Big T stay, and she got to stay on the Ruby team while Amanda infiltrated Tori's spot on the Emerald team, and Tori also went to the Ruby team. So teams get a little switcheroo, a little switched around. The Emerald team finally got a little bit dismantled, so they got to rebuild that bond with each other now that they have Amanda on their team and figure out their strategy moving forward. While Tori's trying to adjust to being on the Ruby team, and she wants to make that team as strong as possible now that she's on it so they can start winning some dailies. So this week coming in, it's a guys' elimination, and all the guys, you already know, we down to only 2 rookies left, and all the rest are vets. So everybody's like, things can go either way. Anybody can go into elimination at this point. You just never know how the game's going to get played based on which team wins. CT, being on Sapphire team, they only have 3 players, himself, Logan, and Emmy. He knows the odds of them winning a daily aren't that high right now. So he's like, I need to do whatever I need to do to keep myself safe and out of elimination. So he has a conversation with Tori, and pretty much they make a deal that the Ruby and Sapphire team will work together against the Emerald team in whatever daily challenge they have to secure that the Emerald team doesn't win, and which will increase either their team's odds of not having to go to elimination. Tori agrees, they cool, things should go as planned. Things should go as planned. There should be nothing to go wrong. Why would anything go wrong? They already made a deal. Now, let's get into this week's daily challenge. So this week's daily is called Boom Raider. So with this challenge, they have to transfer dynamite sticks from one tent to another across the field, and then they meet in the middle for a headbanger. We love a good headbanger. So all teams come from 3 different directions. They meet in the middle. You have to go grab dynamite sticks from the other team's tent and take them out. And the first team that reaches 20 dynamite sticks wins the daily for the week. Now with this one, it kind of works out in their favor, the fact that Tori and CT made that deal, because they can make sure the Emerald team gets rid of all their dynamites and don't have any left by making sure they take them all. And then at that point, it'll just be Ruby versus Sapphire to figure out who wins at that point. Solid, no issues. Run for Emerald. That's it. That's all we got to do. So all we got to do, Emerald won't win. Easy. So they're playing the game. They going at it, barricading, hitting each other, everything like that. Emerald team, they down. They realize that the other teams are working together. So they already feeling a little way. But I mean, it's a challenge. Things get messy. That's just what happened. It's Kyle's trying to go down to the trenches and secure the dynamite. So he asks Tori, which team should he go after? Tori tells him, go after Emerald. Y'all, Kyle gets down there to the trenches and he takes the dynamite from the Sapphire team. So we all just like, you had one job. One job. That's it. Uno. I can't say one in another language. So uno and one is all I got for y'all. You had one job to go after Emerald team. You choose to go after Sapphire. Why would you do that? You already see y'all are working together. Why would you just had to be different. Always got to be different. Why? So he does that, pisses off the Sapphire team. Emerald team's now laughing because now Sapphire and Ruby are arguing because you just blew the whole daily challenge for the week when y'all could have been saved. So now Sapphire team is like, forget it. We're not working with y'all no more. We're going after Ruby. And Emerald's also like, okay, Ruby played y'all. We're also going after Ruby. So now Emerald and Sapphire are working together against Ruby because of Kyle. And Kyle's like, oh, I didn't hear you. You told me Sapphire. You told me blue team. Why would Tori tell you blue team? What benefit does that do for anybody for you to go after the blue team right now when the Emerald team is fully stacked? Like Kyle, Kyle, please be for real. For once, be for real. But also, it's not surprising. It's Kyle's game. Kyle's a snake. Kyle can't keep his word. Kyle can't follow simple instructions or do anything right to save his life. That's just how Kyle plays. For what reason, I don't know, because it always puts him in stickier situations than he has to be in every time. But he does it to himself. It's not like it just happens. He has bad luck. Like, Kyle literally puts himself in these positions every single time and then plays victim at like, oh, I don't know how it happened. You gotta know how it happened. You did it. Like, come on now. Please. Give it up. Hang it up. Sit down. Something. So, they're mad. The rest of the daily challenge continues, and Sapphire team pulls out the win because Emerald team, they going straight for Ruby. Sapphire's going for Ruby. And Emerald's already down from when the Sapphire and Ruby team were working together. So at this point, Sapphire already had a lead on everybody. So Sapphire wins, and it's like, y'all let the team of 3 people beat everyone else. What sense does that make? And then you got Tori's arguing with Devin and Josh and Casey because Tori's actually trying to help her team win, which is the Ruby team. And Devin's mad at Tori because she's trying to help her team win because she's not on Emerald team anymore. But Devin wants her to make sure the Emerald team still wins. because it's a guy's elimination and her 3 closest guys, which is Josh, Devin, and Emmanuel, are all still on the Emerald team. He feels like she should be helping them win and sabotaging her own team. And Tori's point is, why would I do that when y'all put me in a position to get infiltrated? And I want a different team that needs my help to make sure these guys stay safe. Because if I go to a final, I'm going into a final with them. I need to keep as many players as I can have on my team, strong guys. Why would I make sure y'all win and I help my own team out? So, and like, Devin's been playing this whole season very emotional, and he gets offended, takes everything personal when it's never even about him at all. Like, you talking about, oh, she's my closest friend, so she should be looking out for me. She also has to look out for herself. Like, Devin feels like everybody should be looking out for him, and just saying, and Devin feels like everybody should be looking out for him and not worrying about their own game. And at the end of the day, only one of y'all are going to win. So why do you feel like your game is more important than theirs? I'm not too sure. But he got to let that mindset go. It's not working for him. He just keep getting his feelings hurt. And he hurt other people's feelings because Devin get real reckless at the mouth and say stuff crazy. And then you mad why people don't like you in the game. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Then later on in the episode, Kyle and CT pretty much have a one-on-one conversation. Kyle doesn't feel like he should be going in because him and CT have a great relationship. But CT is like, you just crossed me in the daily this week. Why do you feel as though you shouldn't be going in? He's pretty much like, my hands are tied. Nobody else has crossed me in the game. Everybody else has worked to keep me safe out of elimination. Except you. Today. Because you decided to be dumb and act like you couldn't read colors. And you didn't know the difference between green and blue. But now you want to be safe from elimination. But I could also have just gone into elimination if my team didn't win. So they get in a whole heated argument. Kyle says that more than likely he's going to pick Emmanuel 70% or Josh 30% chance of him calling them down to elimination. And now everybody in the house, they hear this argument, they hear everything going on. Josh already knows he needs to stay ready, so he got to get ready because Josh knows his chances of going in are high. He's on the bottom of the totem pole as far as like strong competitors in the house, so he knows anybody will choose him to go against an elimination. So he ready, and I'm like, good for you, Josh. Good for you. Proud of you. At least you're not crying this episode. So yeah, Kyle and CT, they go at it because it's like, you cross me every chance you get, so why should I keep you safe? No, it's just not happening. Then we get to the nomination ceremony, and all the guys have to pretty much say their piece in order so they don't go to elimination. Devin, Josh, and Emmanuel pretty much all tell Sapphire team that they've done everything they can to keep the Sapphire team safe and out of elimination, so they would like for them to return the favor now. Nelson basically says that he's been trying to play a straightforward game. He doesn't want to go to elimination right now, but he's like, if I have to go, I'll go, and I'm going to do what I got to do. And then Kyle goes, pretty much Kyle already knows, he's like, I'm going to go in. It is what it is. And he tells Emmanuel, I'm probably going to pick you. And he tells Logan, I'm going to take your spot. You know, he tells Logan this because he wants to put a little fear in Logan and make Logan like, oh, let me not vote for Kyle anymore because Kyle wants to infiltrate my team. So let's see what happens. So they decide to vote Kyle to elimination. Not surprised. You're the only one that played yourself this week. So yes, you're going to elimination. And Kyle, he looks sad on the face, but I'm like, how can you be so sad now? But if you would have just stuck to the plan that Tori and CT made, you probably wouldn't have been seeing elimination. And if you would have seen elimination, you wouldn't have been the house vote. You would have got chosen down by somebody else. So then we get to the elimination. It's called Burning Bridges. So at this elimination, Kyle chooses to vote to go against Josh, which wasn't surprising. Like, even though he said the whole speech about 70% Emmanuel, I knew that was kind of a lie because Emmanuel's a better player than Josh. So Kyle, you wouldn't playing yourself if you didn't choose Josh. So the rules for this elimination is that they have a bridge basically that they have to build. In order to build it, they have to get planks from the ground one by one. It's 16 planks in total in order to build their bridge. Then when they walk across it, they'll press the detonator and then the bridge will burn basically. But in order to pick up a piece, they have to jump to ring a bell. And every time they ring the bell, they can grab one plank at a time to help build their bridge. But if they miss the bell, they fall to the ground. They have to get back up and keep trying until they ring the bell. And that's the only way they can pick up a piece. So, sounds simple enough, but all that jumping up and down that many times and climb back up the ladder, that's a lot of work. It's going to get tiring real quick. So, they get at it. They start. Both of them hit the bell, grab their piece, get to going. All right, cool. So, after like the third plank that they both get put up, that's when things get a little tricky. That's when they start missing the bell. And I think because at this point, the bell's like swinging back and forth so much, like it's not steady in one spot, so they're not timing it right on when to jump, so they start missing it. So then at that point, Kyle becomes up by one plank. So then they both they jump in. Sometimes they hit the bell, sometimes they miss it. They're both down to their 15th plank. They don't put it down. Now they just got to jump for their 16th. Kyle jumps, he makes it. Josh jumps, he misses. So at that point, I was like, okay, Kyle, grab that plank, bring it back up, wrap this up. Come on, let's go. So Kyle grabs that plank, bring it back up, and he wrap it on up. And Kyle wins the elimination. Good job, Kyle. You did one thing right so far this season. I'm not the biggest fan of Josh, so I wasn't mad that Kyle beat him. But Josh been playing a little better game this season, but he also still cries a lot. And also, I'm not the biggest fan of either of them, but I don't know, I kind of just want Kyle to win more. That's just what it is. That's just how I feel personally. TJ wraps up the elimination, and Kyle has to choose which team he wants to go on. So he chooses, like he said, to infiltrate the Sapphire team. He takes Logan's spot. So now Logan goes over to the Ruby team, and Kyle goes to the Sapphire team. You can tell on his face, CT's not too happy about it. He doesn't think him and Kyle are gonna work together very well because Kyle can't be trusted. This week was actually a pretty good week. Like, I love the fact that like the vets are going at it. Like, that's what I've been waiting for. Now that they at each other's neck, it's getting personal. It's getting emotional. We getting better eliminations because like now I feel like they're really fighting for it because these are the ones that really want to be here for it. They know about the game and they know what they want to do. I need Devin to stop taking everything so personal. He's pissing me off. Not really sure who I want to win this season yet because they ain't really showed me nothing that I feel like many of them deserve it. Logan and Manuel are doing pretty well. I feel like they just stay in the clear, stay out the mix, just fall back. They gonna get to their final and hopefully they do well because I need the final to be individual. I don't really care about this team, especially because the teams they're not the same amount of people on every team. Like, it's not equal. So I feel like that's kind of unfair going into the final. So hopefully they break that up before the final comes. But we shall see. Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. And we back at it next week.